Hello, my name is Rebecca Gibbony, and I am the Curriculum and Online Learning Specialist here at Blast Intermediate Unit 17. In that role, I serve as STEM and Innovation and work with our teacher leadership groups. And also, I work with our partnership with PBS, and our local region partner is WVIA. Last week, I released a flip book or an interactive notebook to discuss how you could use PBS as an instructor, a caregiver, or a district. And so I'm going to share my screen right now and walk you through that. And then I'm also going to share, if I was a teacher, how I would go about planning a lesson with PBS in a little bit more detail. So let me share my screen here for a second. All right, if you go to our homepage, you will see that in order to find our episode from last week, you'll go to Continuity of Education Resource Guide and then go to Online Learning Hub. There's actually a number of ways you can get to this, but that's the way I normally go. And then if you scroll down to Remote Instruction Series, PBS Programming to Enhance Instruction, you click on that and you will see this little flip book. And so you can meet myself here and my role with working with PBS, WVIA, and then you can see Kirsten Smith, who is someone that I work closely with for the WVIA grant. She's a grant and education officer. In order to navigate through this, you just click on the top here. So PBS programming, what is it? PBS learning media, what is it? And certain things like how to navigate it. And then it'll take you to a link. I have the learn at home as well, like how can I use this, the common carriage, what it's all about if you're a caregiver. And then we also have a section for socio-emotional learning. On the left side, we have miscellaneous if you want to contact us for further information, but all of these videos are embedded and you can listen to how Kirsten and I describe your experience using WVIA and PBS programming to enhance your lessons. What I'm going to talk to you about today, though, is if I was a teacher, how would I go about this? Honestly, PBS has been around forever, but we've never really used it to think about how do I reach my offline learners, or even how do I use this as a different way to reach my students with my content. And I honestly think that it's sort of genius and another avenue to take. And I am privileged and appreciate the work that PBS and WVA have been doing to help us make the partnership with PDE to keep things rolling. So to start, I'm going to first go to pbslearningmedia.org. Okay. And I'll put these linked at the bottom as well on the website. And if I look here, you can see as a teacher, I can plan through subjects, grades, or standards. Okay. For this purpose today, I'm going to do by subject. And I was a world language teacher. So, I have world languages here, so I can go to Spanish and I can filter them by grade, type, and then relevance. Now, just because, I'm going to show you a couple of other things, but let's say I do informational text for ELA. Okay. If I don't filter down, these are all of the segments that are available that I can use to enhance my instruction. So maybe we're doing key ideas and details, and I really want to focus on evidence, inference, and conclusions. I also work with TDAs, if you haven't noticed, here at the IU. Okay. I'm looking at Native American tribes band together to block oil pipeline. Okay, so I click on that. If you are a Google school, you can embed this right into your Google Classroom. If not, you can just link this in your LMS. And so what I would do is tell my students, okay, we're going to read this text, and then I want you to watch this video. It's a great bridge to having them, compare and contrast two different texts or, analyze two different media sources. So I'd have them watch it. I'd watch it, of course. But what I like here is that you also have support materials. So what they have done in the learning media is that they have activities, basically like lesson plans for you to implement just moving forward. And so, for example, for students, I'd give this to students. I'd embed it. Here's the article, the informational text. further information. So if you want to dive deeper into that, maybe. And then here's a handout. So, key vocabulary, essential questions, some warm-up questions, and then I can do some critical thinking and reading comprehension as well. So that is something, and then you can see your standards, how they align. I can see core standards, and again, it can drop down, assessment anchors, national standards, and then Common Core as well. So there's a lot there. If I want to go to subjects and maybe I want to do earth and space science, I click on that. I look at, all of these different categories are there. So you can lay it out like that as well. I encourage you to play around on PBS Learning Media to see all the different ways that it can help you with your curriculum and add a different touch to what students normally get, maybe a Zoom meeting or a worksheet or things like that. The other thing before I jump off of this is look at the types. All these different types are in PBS Learning Media. So maybe you want an interactive activity. Will the air be clean enough to breathe? And so this is interactive, so I would launch it. And there's a whole bunch now, obviously, some of the stuff is blocked for me, the viewer, but you can have your students be interactive on the web with some of the activities. If I go back here and go to where I was, and maybe I want interactive, maybe I just want a lesson plan. Okay, here's a lesson plan for you as well. So all of these things can help you as resources that are free to any content area. So take a look through that. The other thing I want to show you is if I go to WVIA and I just do their WVIA, usually I Google it. This is our local PBS station. They have tons of things going on, but what they've added as a result of the pandemic is the Learn at Home. So if I click Learn and then Learning at Home, okay, these are all teacher-led lessons from the spring that align to it. So you can see eventually, but you can see like March 30th to April 3rd. So these were teachers from our region and the WVIA region that also did some lessons as well. I know I was on there a couple of times. I can look here too, but I know they're on here. And if you would like to see the live lessons, please feel free to reach out and I can send them to you. However, oh, here they are. I knew it was somewhere. So like here's a Shikellamy teacher, here's a Hughesville teacher. And so these are just some fun things that teachers, gave their lessons and put them on Learn at Home. How it has evolved is that PBS is now creating throughout the Commonwealth. They are doing the same programming from 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. till 3 o'clock. So every student in in Pennsylvania has the opportunity to watch the same television show on PBS. So if you're looking here, you can see from now, obviously it starts earlier than that. So if I click here, okay, well, if I click here, you can see 11 a.m. Some of them start a little bit earlier, but the main ones 11 a.m. to, again, 3. And if I click on this one, it'll bring up a PDF. Okay. Once 3 o'clock hits from 3 to 4, it's regional programming. So again, if I have a pre-K to 3rd grade classroom, I can look at what PBS is offering on their Common Carriage throughout the month of October. They'll be linking November coming up. Okay. However, I can see like maybe they're doing a new friend on Sesame, come and play a song, or maybe what's the date today? October 28th. So today, maybe cartoon coders brainstorming, a night out with bats. Maybe I'm doing bats in my curriculum right now. Asian Americans, Generation Rising. So you can see as the grade levels, they have every grade level. And maybe there is an episode in here that you're like, oh, this would really tie nicely to my content. And so you might tell your students, hey, I want you to watch this episode on PBS. And then what they have done is they have embedded the PBS Learning Media into the Common Carriage. So if you're like, let's see, tomorrow. Energy water nexus. Okay. I'm going to say, oh, I really want you to watch this episode. Now, obviously I know they're in school, but maybe you want to watch it in class. I click on that and then I can get a whole bunch of other resources. This is a quick 52-second clip to reinforce and enhance the instruction that you're doing. And then I click on support materials. There's teaching tips. There's a background reading for your students that you can embed. So that is how that mainly works. And they're going to be doing this throughout the whole school year. The other thing that I want to share with you, if you're pre-K to third grade or elementary, so you can see kindergarten readiness and then elementary programs, they have created weekly activities for you to do. So for example, this is this week, okay, on Monday, their episode for Sesame Street was a social emotional learning and early literacy. It focused on friendship. And so here's the activity that you might want to have your kids do. It might be a good homework assignment, or, even just an activity they come to class with. If you're doing hybrid learning right now, they could watch this on their day and then come back and have the discussion. If you look at tomorrow, so it's a science-focused episode. So a bunch of different ways that you can use their programming to help your lessons. I will be sharing at the bottom of the webpage as well. They have put together a 2-week emergency lesson plan with episodes embedded. So let's say, knock on wood, if you go remote tomorrow and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start right now, PBS has created a 2-week lesson plan with their programming to help teachers at any level. So I will link that in as well. But if you have any questions, please reference the flipbook. I will put that on the website too. And if you need any help moving forward, please reach out to me. My email is rgibboney, so RGIBBONEY at iu17.org, and I'm happy to help. And if you have any questions or you want help with any planning with PBS, please let me know. We'd love to hear your feedback and also help with planning some of the content. So have a great day, night, morning, whenever you're watching this. And I hope to see you back on the Online Learning Hub soon.